What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dog back again with the Roosh review show. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, talk about the game yesterday, Nottingham Forest 3, Barnsley nil. I've got a different guest today, and as everyone knows, it's all brand new. But like I said, people, if you are new to the channel, please do hit like button, subscribe if you know, and comment below, people. How are you feeling about yesterday's result? Before I do start, like I said, if you want to subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. And if you want to donate towards the channel, the link is below. You can put like towards anything, and make sure you put a question. Right, let's talk. Let's get the panel in. First, we'll start with below me. Max, how you doing?
All right, mate. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm great. I'm eyeing promotion. That's what I'm doing.
Next to Max, we've got Liam. How you doing?
All good, mate. How are you?
I'm not too bad, man. I'm happy as Larry. I'm happy as Larry. Like next to me, we've got a member of men. So I thought I'll get a member in, and his name is Yeti. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, mate. It's awesome to be a Forest fan right now. It is absolutely awesome.
I think everyone's just happy at the moment. But like I said,
100%.
but for everyone on the show, like I said, we'll get everyone's opinion about how being a Forest fan later in the show. We're going to start with you, Max. And like I said, we'll talk about the Barnsley game first. And yeah, it's an easy game for Forest, 3-0. But what's your opinion about yesterday's game?
It was an easy game, wasn't it? I think it was. I think like Steve Cooper said it, or Paul Taylor said it also on his channel, that those couple of yellow cards that Barnsley picked up with Brennan Johnson running at them early doors. I think it almost felt like the game was won then. You know, they couldn't tackle him anymore. He absolutely ran them ragged. Brilliant movement for the first goal, scored the second goal. But I think quite a lot of games at home, Brennan and Jed Spence haven't seemed to get things going in the first half. It's, we've scored. We haven't scored many goals in the first half of games, have we? We've scored the majority in the second half. Yeah. And it seems I don't quite know why. Whether it's attacking the Trent end where I sit and they want to score goals in front of me. I'm happy about that. But it seems that like they get it together in the second half, but not the first. But yeah, last night or whenever it was, we got it together first half, and I thought it was great. I thought it was easy. We didn't get out of first gear, let alone second or third, and I think we stepped off it at the start of the second half, and Barnsley probably stepped up a little bit, but they just never threatened, did they? I think they got in positions where if I was a Barnsley fan, I'd be, as well as shouting scab at the Forest fans, I'd be shouting shoot at their players. They shuffled it wide. They shuffled it wide, and then we stopped them, didn't we? And it felt easy. And then we just stepped on the gas a little bit again. Like Jed's setup was, wonderful. And then we dominated the game again towards the end. So it was easy. And I think sometimes it's nice. It's nice to have that game after a big intense game. But often we've had those big intense games and those great wins, and then we've been rammed against somebody rubbish afterwards. We beat Leeds, didn't we?
Yeah, that's what Cooper said. Cooper said about it, didn't it? You mentioned about it. Like I think we'll talk about that later. Like as you mentioned, Cooper mentioned about we beat Derby and we always don't do well afterwards. But
it's like getting a striker bowling. You've got to then follow it up with some good numbers after, haven't you? You know what I mean? And I'm delighted to see Keenan Davis score. Although
that's why I want to mention. I'm going to say that to Liam about Keenan Davis. Liam, like Davis scored his first goal. How happy for you as a Forest fan, him scoring his first goal, and plus he deserves it as well.
Yeah, especially after that Millwall performance where he got chucked in the deep end. Obviously, it's nice for him to get his first goal. That is like a workhorse. Mistake what he did where he kicked it into his chest and then he just pounced on it and straight through. Like most strikers think too much and then they would miss. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was a brilliant goal. Took it really well, especially in front of the main stand where I sit. Got us all a bit up and going. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit quiet for a little bit. Like you say, after the high of Derby, I didn't think the atmosphere was quite there yesterday.
I know it was a bit poor, wasn't it? It wasn't as. I was in the main stand as well on the other side, and I thought it wasn't that. It wasn't like, I know we can talk about Barnsley, like it's Barnsley, but you expect the atmosphere to be buzzing after what's been happening. But yeah, carry on, Liam.
Yeah, especially like the 4 wins, you think everybody would be like up for it, but I just felt like it was very quiet. Like we had the stewards telling us to sit down. Do you know what I mean? That derby, it was stupid. But go back to the football. I love Spence running down that right wing. Do you know when he took that couple of plays and then barged that other guy on the floor?
Yeah.
I was watching a couple of Barnsley fans earlier shouting for a foul, but it was never a foul. But it's just brilliant, isn't it?
Yeti, we're talking about the second goal, Ryan Yates. I think a fantastic ball from John and Yates just put it in. And,
man, that was
and Ryan Yates again, like I said, he's had his doubts, but yet again, he's come on, he scored. But what's your opinion on Ryan Yates?
Mate, you know what? I don't understand what most Forest fans have a problem with Ryan Yates. I mean, I read a lot on Facebook, and some of the comments he gets and some of the disses he gets is unreal because he's one of my favourite players, 100%, because he is an 100% Forest player. But my favourite Forest player is Stuart Pearce, so that explains it all. If you go in and break someone's legs, I'm happy. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, and I just love Yates, and the callback ball to Johnson was just phenomenal. And then Johnson straight to Yates, and it's in. That guy can play anywhere. And I was saying to someone the other day when he was playing against Derby, because he was having a go at Yates, I said, without someone like Yates, Cooper can't make that change without making a substitution. Because nobody else can fall. You know what I mean? Nobody else can drop into the midfield or fall back into the defence. So, you know, amazing player. Absolutely amazing. Love it.
People comment if there's any questions you want to ask the panel about yesterday's game. You can. Matt, we're talking about the defence. And I said, Joe Worrall, he didn't play against Derby, he didn't play this game. But we've got Cook and McKenna. Do you think that's the way forward with his partnership, or do you think Worrall needs to come back when he comes back from injury?
I think when he comes back from injury, I reckon he comes straight back in the side. But I think, like Yeti was saying, like Ryan Yates has done an outstanding job when he's fielding in that position. I've seen him telling players what to do, moving his position, calling for the ball, directing other players. But and he's. You know what? It doesn't look like he's got a mistake in him, which unfortunately Figueiredo looks like when he plays there. And I'd have no problem with like going away to Cardiff, which we are going to do, with Ryan Yates in there and then banging long balls in for Kiefer Moore and so on, because he stands up for it and he does it. And then you're absolutely right. Midway through a game, he steps into midfield and he's doing a brilliant job there. And we're probably going to talk about it later, but I love Joe Worrall as well. Obviously, Nottingham lad, could be a fantastic captain. I think he's a great player, but we've not looked like we've missed him. And Barnsley game, it was easy. It's probably one of us could play in central defence, and and Scott McKenna and would cover for us, and we'd get away with it. But against Derby, they were pumping long balls too, weren't they? That was their game. They were just pumping long balls straight through the middle, and they had Kazimierz is a big fella, and it dealt with him fine. So, I mean, I'd love to see Joe stay. I'd love to see Brennan Johnson stay, but. Yeah,
we'll talk about Brennan later. Everyone's been saying to me about are we going to talk about Brennan? That's the latest one we'll talk about, because I've seen comments already about Brennan, but that's later on, people. So don't worry.
To be honest, you could play Yates anywhere. You could play Yates anywhere.
Was it Yates yesterday that did that off? It was about 40 yards. It was halfway inside our area, and Brennan Johnson was running down the right hand side. And him done it off volley, straight pinpoint, straight to his foot. I've never seen Ryan do that ever in a Forest shirt.
He's improved so much under Cooper.
So much. Yeah,
100%.
It's almost
right. So I'm going to see a question for you three, and people in the comments as well. Max, Ryan Yates, was you a fan of Ryan Yates? And I'll put you on the spot. Yes or no?
Yes.
Liam?
Yes.
Yetta?
100%.
Are you sure you're not baffling on me?
100%. I've always been a fan of Yates.
I've always been a fan of Yates because my stepdad's a Notts County fan, And he absolutely slaughtered him when he was on loan at Notts County. And I said he'll be a Forest captain one day. And then look how good he's playing now.
Yeah. I was a fan of Yates. Sorry, mate. I was a fan of Yates, but not of Colback. And I didn't think Yates and Colback could play together.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Too negative and too defensive. But Colback's proved me wrong. And I think Yates has proved everybody else wrong. And like he said it himself, hasn't he? He's been asked to play in a different way with a different mindset under this manager than the previous one. You know, he's looking to receive the ball on half turn and look forwards and just playing further up the pitch. He's a box-to-box player, isn't he? He's not a sitting holding player. He's a I
think he could play him anyway, to be honest.
He's that sort of player. Yeah.
That's what's good about him.
We're talking about Jack Colback, and I know Lowe's company came back against Derby, but it's slotted back in left back yesterday. Have you been impressed with Colback left back? There was one people in the comments. What do you think? But what do you think of Colback?
Colback started his career as a left back, and that's where he got He was a left back for Sunderland, so you know he was always going to fit into that spot. I'd rather see him in the midfield, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, he can still do a job. He has come on leaps and bounds, absolute leaps and bounds, which everybody has under Cooper, to be honest. That guy is just amazing. He is just an amazing manager. We might even see the bright days of Clough again, you know.
Oh, no, wait.
I'm saying it.
Put some respect on
Not
Clough's
saying
name for that.
European Cups and that.
Put some respect on Clough's name for that. Yes, you're gonna actually hammer for that, but I'm gonna hammer it for myself. You put some respect on Clough's name. Not yet. I'm not gonna, because we can say that. Oh, he plays like Clough. No, you can't say that yet. It's too early for that.
I'm just saying he has the same kind of respect from the players as what Clough had.
And
that's how it seems anyway.
He's improved so many different players, hasn't he? Like it's not just Yates and Colback. It's lots
carries
of
on
players.
like this, Everton will be approaching him.
Yeah.
But say that again, Liam.
I said if he carries on doing this good, Everton will be approaching him.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. Nah, I'm not worried about that. Not worried about that. There's 67 people. Like I said, people in the comments just ask you any questions for the panel. I'm not sure. You, Liam. What like since Cooper's come in? What players have you been impressed with? We mentioned Yates, but as a Forest fan, who have you been impressed with so far since Cooper's come in?
I know it's not our play, but it's going to be Garner. The first 10, 15 games, I don't think it was at it like last season. Last season, it was the number one player. But what I thought is last season, everybody was off it. Now this season, everybody's on it. He didn't look the standout player.
100%.
But now, this last 10 games, he's been like that game against Derby, man of the match for me. Brilliant.
100%. You know what? 100% agree with you. I say I was critical with Garner when he come back. I think the game against I think we played at Derby away. He come on, everyone thought he's gonna play well, and he wasn't great. I think the last two games under Hooton, and then at the start of Hooton, Cooper's as manager, he wasn't playing great. But as we know, that Garner he played under Cooper for under 18. So, but right now, last 2 months, he's been fantastic alongside Yates or Colback. And this is different. I'm going to ask you, Yetta. Like, Lowe's back, and as well, Max and Liam, you can answer this, and tell people in the comments as well. Lowe's back. Who would you put in that centre midfield? Because, like I said, we had Yates and Garner yesterday against Barnsley. We got Cardiff next. Who would you put in that centre midfield? Yetta, let me ask you, who would you put? All three of them playing good.
It's a difficult one, to be honest, because Garner was phenomenal yesterday, and he's been phenomenal in the Derby game, and he's been phenomenal in the other games. So basically, it's a difficult one. It depends what kind of game it is you're playing, isn't it? If it's one where you need to like get biting tackles and stuff like that, then it's got to be Colback. But if you want the creativity and all that kind of stuff, then it's got to be Garner. So it's down to who you're playing and what type of game it is.
I do reckon Colback is due a rest now, though. How many games has he played in a rest? Yeah, 100%.
Nah, I don't think he needs a rest. Would you rest him? Wait, let me ask Liam this. So would you rest, like, Cardiff? They're a tough side. Would you rest him against Cardiff?
I would for 70 minutes. Just see how the game's planning out. Because, like you say, he's a tough lad. So if you chuck him in on the 70th minute, it might ruffle some feathers. and then you know what I mean, a couple of yellow cards there and there, and then they have to drop back a bit, and we can put all our fast attacking players on and might sneak a goal. You don't know, but yeah, I think he's getting on a bit now. What is he, 30 odd now?
Yeah, it's about 30 odd.
Yeah, and we've got.
I'm not
yeah.
sure Colback would be
I'd go the other
happy
way.
to be rested, though. To be honest.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
People in the comments, what do you think? Do you think we should rest him at Cardiff? What about you, Max? Do you?
I'd go the other way. I'd start him again. I'd start Colback in the difficult away games, and against Cardiff, I'd start Colback because he's gonna pick up a booking probably, and then you know he can get stuck in, he can do his job, he can ruffle the feathers, then bat them around in midfield, and then you know he might need to come off to keep 11 men on the pitch. Yeah. He's probably not due a rest. He's probably due a suspension for getting 5 yellow cards soon because he seems to pick them up a lot. But even that's improved under Cooper as well. But I think I think the steal early in the game, and then Garner can come on and be more creative in the final quarter of the game. That's the way I'd go. But you know, I'm not the manager of Forest yet.
People, there's 69 people in as well. If you want to show support to my channel, if you want to do a super sticker, super chat, or be a member, like Yeti is. Yeti's a member of the channel. So if you want to be a member, just all you do is click down at the bottom and be a member. It costs us like £2.99, and it can be on my channel. Like I've invited these lot, brand new to the channel, and like anyone can come on my channel. And if you want to be on my channel, email me, Twitter me, or Instagram me, so you can come on the channel. Liam, I think, like I said, the third goal, like we talk about Spence and that relationship with Spence and Johnson, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it just reminds me of Joe Lally and Matty Cash a couple of seasons back.
Yeah, yeah.
Both of them working together, tricking, everything. It was just perfect. It's just a bit sad that it's not going to be there next season.
You don't know. You don't.
I agree.
There are people. No, I'm going to mention it later on. Carry on, Liam. Carry on.
Yeah, but just the way that Spence ran down that right wing yesterday, he's just Premier League player all over him. It's just magnificent. Even that's his. I can't believe that was his first assist yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Mad, wasn't it? Mad.
Yeah. After all these performances, I'd give him a 9 out of 10 every game. But yeah, especially Johnson as well. Did he do a first time straight in corner? I can't remember him taking a touch. Was it first time?
Yes.
That was a brilliant take as well. That was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was a good goal. It was just calmed all the nerves down after that. We all just settled down a bit. Yeah, it was good.
I think we need Carvalho, to be honest, because it's
right.
Everybody.
No, here we go. Listen to it. Yeti, you know what? Yeti, right. Like I said, it's your option. I will speak to you for about them players because that's. I'm not going to have an opinion about it. People, I will talk about. Like I said, it's the first time he's up, and I will mention it. We talk about the people like. So Matt.
Something. I tell you what, it says something if Carvalho don't even get a game against Barnsley in a game like that, and he brings on the young lad at the end.
Hold your horses. We'll talk about it later. We've got our show. Take your time. Right. I'm going to talk about. Let's talk about Max and Cooper's come in, and like I said, we've only had 3 defeats since he's come, and we're a point away from the playoffs. And I will mention it to Liam and Yeti and the people in the comments. So this is the question I ask you, Max. We're a point away. Are you confident for us to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
As well, people in the comments as well. Why?
It's happening. We're a point away. We're with the team on form. If we continue the form that we've shown since Steve Cooper was appointed, we finish on 85 points, I think, at the end of the season, which would have got automatic in 1 out of the last. I can't remember the precise stats, but like 1 out of the last 6 seasons, and wouldn't be in the playoffs for all of them. And you know what? Although you're right, he's only had 3 defeats. There was a hefty run of draws in the middle of that as well, where I think we only won 2 out of 9 games. So we've not been winning every game like Blackburn have done, and we're in the position we are now. We've strengthened the side. They're playing better and better every game. The teams above us aren't that great. It's on. We're finishing the playoffs. Book your Wembley hotel now. Mr. Door.
He's going for it. What about you, Liam?
Me, I'm thinking we get a second. We won't catch Fulham.
Really? You're confident then?
I've got West Brom on the TV now, and they're playing absolutely shocking. They're losing 1-0 to Preston. They're absolutely shocking.
There wasn't great. When Forest played them at their ground, there wasn't even great, was there?
No.
Wow.
I'm going to get second. Get Jed Wallace. We're second.
People in the comments, what do you think of Liam saying that? Are you confident that will happen? Yes, sir. How are you feeling? Are you saying the same as Liam or not?
Mate, at the end of the day, the way we're playing at the minute, yes, it's possibly going to happen. But at the end of the day, I'm a realistic Forest fan. So the thing is if we don't, we're going to smash it next season. I think what we're building now is going to be amazing next season. So I'd hate to have a playoff and then go out and then have to kind of deal with it. You know what I mean? Next season.
I think there's still 52 points to play for. So, what I don't know what we are now. I can't remember, but if we can win at least 40 of them points, second place.
Wow. I think the main thing is if it does go wrong, people don't go stupid, which is what Forest fans have done over the years. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're not good enough, blah, 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 blah. Just keep with it. And if we get playoffs, great. If we get promotion, whatever, great. If we get second, awesome. But don't get too far ahead, because I think we will do it eventually. We'll do it next season, like Leicester.
I'm just looking at the comments. How are you doing, Glenn? Glenn was on my vlog yesterday. So people, if you don't watch my vlog, make sure after the show you go and watch it. I'm just looking at the comments, and people are being realistic, like you, Liam. People looking at Liam, they think they'll get second. People saying playoffs. Mark says top two. Dylan, shout out to Dylan. We could get second. Dream big. I don't know. I
haven't been this happy being a Forest fan since Billy Davis' first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's smells of Billy Davis first time, doesn't it? Would we rather get automatic or win the playoff final?
Automatic
playoff final.
No.
Just for the buzz, because I've never been to Wembley, because I promised my mum I would never go to Wembley until Forest in the playoff final.
Liam,
no matter what it is, singing concert, anything.
Liam, I've said exactly the same. I've said exactly. Listen, I've never been to Wembley, and I said to myself, I am not going Wembley till Forest get there. So Liam, bang on with that comment.
My mate even offered me an Anthony Joshua ticket to go, and I said I'm not going. I said Forest comes first. Let me watch Forest, and then anything after.
People in the comments, like Liam just said, I'm not. I said I refuse to go to Wembley till Forest get there. Anything, but if anyone in the comments has done the same, write down as well.
You know what worries me though? It's like the Cooper is a tactical genius. We've seen that. We've seen him do it, But what worries me is like the first 20 minutes of the second half yesterday.
Yeah.
Where you know what I mean, and that's where I'm like that.
That's what I want to mention. And if people seeing Steve Cooper are like, yes, won 3-0 against Barnsley, but they were poor. And I'm like, I see Max, and he said we should at least score at least maybe 5 or 6. Do you agree what he says? And people in the comments, do you agree what Cooper says? Like, I personally think he was right, because we're playing against a poor side and we should be scoring 5 or 6.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
But what do you think, Max?
Yeah, I agree. I think we were looking at it going, this could be 4 or 5 here, and we were looking at our phones at half time going, what's the goal difference between us and West Brom and so on, because it could come down to that, couldn't it, at the end of the season? And I think it's a good, as long as that's why he was upset, as long as that's why he didn't come and do the fist bumps, as long as it's due to that and not because some
I know you're talking about. Don't say it.
That's the reason. I'm happy with that. That's good. That's good. And he'd be right. And we were poor. And if we were playing against a half decent side, would have put us under a bit of pressure, made us sweat. But Barnsley was so poor that they Lyle Taylor could have scored if they chucked him on in the second half. They were that bad. Yeah. So
that's another player that we're going to talk about later on as well. So, like I said, 25 minutes gone, and there's so much topics that we'll talk about. But
if we'd have played last night, I would have played against Derby. It'd have been easily 6 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think if we had a different manager like Newton, that would have been a 0-0 draw last night.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what? I said that, but it's not my vlog. I said that if that was Houghton, that would have been 0-0, and he would have been happy with that. But, yeah, 100%. There's 94 people in. Like I said, thank you very much for everyone for coming on to watching this. Like I said, people, if you are new to our channel, please do hit the like button. There's like I said, there's 90 likes. If you can get to 50 likes, people, please do just hit the like button. Yetta, and as well, like Steve Cooper's come in, fantastic. And like I said, I'm going to mention Lewis Grabban. And as a Forest fan, was you critical with Grabban, or was you still believing that he could still do good for Forest, even if he did want to leave? I think it was in last season. I think. What did you think about Grabban, Yeti?
Always believed he's got that instinct. So, and at the end of the day, when people were saying that he's not good enough and all this that and the other, he was getting no distribution. He can't do it without distribution. You can't be in the box and score in the box if you don't get distribution. So I always believed, and I'd 100% give him another contract.
Would you?
Mm-hmm.
People in the comments, would you give Grabban a contract? I'm going to ask you, Liam. Would you give Grabban a contract?
I would now, but when Lamouchi went on to Saudi Arabia or wherever it was, I thought that's it. Grabban needs to go with him. Because like you say, he was getting no service, but at the time, it was diabolical. He wasn't running. He wasn't jumping. He wasn't holding the ball up. He was like, there was just a person on the pitch not contributing to doing anything.
Yeah.
But since Cooper's come in, totally different player. I don't know if any of you seen him yesterday on that, running down the left wing towards Trenton, where he ran all the way to the corner flag, just turned a pace straight into the penalty box, drilled it across. We just missed. I think they cleared it off the line or something. I've never seen Grabban had that turn of pace before. He's 34 years of age.
I've seen it. I think with I don't know what game it was. People comments. He ran. What game was it? Hull. Was it Hull game when
he set up a goal, didn't he? Yeah. He beat 2 players down the wing and crossed it in.
Yeah, that was one.
Yeah.
That was one. But like I said, he's been so much. He's been great as well for it. But as well, I'm going to mention to the panel as well. But like Cooper's been fantastic for us, and he's got everyone fantastic as well. I told you, Max. Like I said, this team that we've got, like I said, I'm confident we can get to top 6. We're going to mention not the players that have been linked to move away, blah blah blah. But what players do you think as well? People in the comments as well. You can join in as well. What players do you think we need to strengthen as well? Like I said, we'll talk about Brennan Johnson and the rest later on. But what players do you think? What positions do we need to improve?
I think we need. I think it's those attacking players. I think it's the ones that we're going for, the ones that we've been linked for. So Bowler or Wallace. I think it's those extra options and that something different to what we've got down the wing and in those attacking positions, particularly to cover for injuries. I think I've seen us in for potentially other central defenders as well, and I think but I think they're coming in as cover. I think we can beat anybody at the moment. If we can keep this side and they stay fit, we can keep anybody. So I think people that we're bringing in because somebody else is on the way out, or we're bringing in as cover and as extra options. Because I'm happy with Brennan on one side and Zinkernagel on the other. But it'd be good to have somebody can run the heart out, and Jed Wallace can come on, or Josh Bowler can come on, and they can offer something different if it's not quite working for Zinks and stuff like that. I think we've brought in Steve Cook, obviously. Joe Wall's injured for 5 or 6 weeks.
Have you been impressed with Cook, Max? Have you been impressed with Cook since he's come in?
I have. Yeah. I think against Derby for the first 20 minutes, he looked a bit shaky. I don't know why, but he looks confident. He's got the experience, hasn't he? I think he's good.
So what was that, Liam?
That penalty, the ball was rolling out, and there's no need to dive in like that. No, it is age. He should have too much experience to do stuff like that.
This 30 minutes go on, and like I said, it's been a great show so far. Before we'll talk about other subjects, but I'll go through the panel as well. People in the comments, who was your man of the match yesterday? I'll do mine last. Max, who was your man of the match yesterday? I know they gave it to Garner, but who was your man of the match?
I'd probably go Brennan yesterday for his impact, but I wouldn't argue with Garner at all. I think there's been some games where there was a home game a few weeks ago where Garner got it and we didn't know why. Like it seems like it's Jed Spence every game. But there's so many players that had great games, but I couldn't argue with Garner. I would have gone Brennan Johnson, but you could have given it Jed Spence or a number of other players as well, I reckon.
What about you, Liam?
Scott McKenna.
Yeah,
I love that.
That
He's a brick wall. If anybody goes on my Twitter feed, everything's just about Scott McKenna. I just think he's exceptional. Loving it. It's just a monster. Old school defender. Who fit gone.
I'm loving that. Yeti?
It's hard to choose because there's a lot of really good performances yesterday, but I'm going with my man and I'm going with Yates because he gets a lot of hate and I'm sticking with Yates. I'm sticking number 22 all the way.
I'm loving it. You know what? I'm gonna say the same as Liam. Just I think McKenna was my man yesterday. I know.
I don't understand why he's so unnoticed. Nobody talks about him.
Yeah.
That's the best thing.
That's a good thing, though, because he never made mistakes. So,
that's the best thing. Don't talk about him. Like I said, we'll mention other players, but like I said, for me, Kenna was my man of the match yesterday. But people comment who think was man of the match. Right, that game's done. Right, let's talk about what's been happening on Twitter. If you've not listened to what has happened, Brentford have made a bid for Brennan Johnson. I think it's around 60 million and a half for it. I think it is. People, what do you think in the comments? Do you think Brennan Johnson should go or should stay at Forest? Let me start with you, Max. Like, it's been so much you've been linked with Brentford for last year now, but do you think he should go or should stay?
I think he definitely shouldn't go for 16 million. That's way undervalued in my opinion. I think he's a player we need to keep. I think if we're to coin a phrase from yesteryear, if we're serious about promotion, then we keep Brennan Johnson because of what he can do. And you know what? If we can keep him to the end of the season, we'll either be in the Premier League with Brennan Johnson. So he's there at frankly a much bigger and better club than Brentford in the Premier League, a club that's not a stepping stone to somewhere better, or he'll have his pick of better clubs in the summer. You know, if clubs will still come in for him in the summer, I know he's got 18 months left in his contract, so we still own the player for another season. So, you know, I think he'll have a pick of better clubs in the summer coming in and probably offering us more money, and better clubs than Brentford and Leeds and Newcastle, clubs that might well be in the Championship next season anyway. And I think we should keep him. I don't think he wants to go, but I think you know what, love Joe Worrell to bits, but we can afford to lose Joe Worrell more than we can afford to lose Brennan Johnson to get us promoted. Even though Joe Worrell's amazing, but we can get another centre half that can do a great job. And we've got Yates who can do a great job.
And as well.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know what?
If that was the choice, if we need to balance the books, if we need to get cash in to avoid doing a derby, then I'd say let's speak to Burnley about Joe Worrell and keep.
I love you cheap dig about derby.
Always, mate.
I've seen a stat about Brennan earlier. He's in the Premier League Championship, League 1, League 2, is the highest assist and goal scorer for an under 21.
Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I think his dad, DJ, who watches this show as well, respect to DJ. I've seen it on his Twitter play. He's the most assist player, but that's why he's been wanted to play. I think today I've seen on Twitter. I didn't really listen to Twitter. I wait to who's that media guy? You always talk about Forest. I forgot his name now. People in the comments,
Nixon.
He's blocked me on Twitter. He's a bellend.
I know.
John Pye.
That's the word, John
Thursday?
Pye.
Is it
Till
John Pye?
Taylor, John Pye confirms it, then I believe it.
Yeah.
But till then, Alex Nix can jog on because he's blocked me for some stupid reason. Liam, what do you think about Brennan Johnson? Do you think stay with Forest? Or
60 million, definitely not.
let me say something right. I'm people in the comments as well. Understand this is for everyone. So if someone comes for a club, I don't know, you can mention, I don't know, Newcastle. They came in for 25 million.
Yeah.
What would you say? Would you accept it?
Yes, for a loan back this season. And
Never you're going to get
the
that.
way teams do it now is it'd be like 5 million this season, 5 million next season.
That's what Brentford did as well.
Yeah, we want a huge chunk now so we can reinvest, get Jed Wallace, get players like that, as long as we can keep Brennan till the end of the season. That's the only way I'd accept any bid.
What about you, Yetta?
I don't think he's staying in a million years. And the reason I say that is because, like I read this morning, he's had more assists than anybody in the Premier League, Championship, and League One put together. So, for me, don't go Brentford because that will be stupid. If Everton come in or, a team on the up like Aston Villa or something like that, then, yeah, think about it. But, no, don't
Never
go
for
Brentford.
16 million. Never for 16 million.
No way. 25 plus with add-ons, in my opinion.
Wow.
If we were thinking of selling him, would we have played him against Barnsley?
Well, the thing is, every time he scores,
but they took him off as well.
Every time.
See that, Leo?
If someone wants to leave, I don't think they'll be running around the pitch tapping the badge, kissing the badge. That's not somebody that wants to leave.
Yeah, but can you remember Roy Keane? He kissed the badge before he left.
I don't think I was born.
Yeah, but Roy Keane's
I was born there, people in the comments remember that. So, yeah, it is what it is. But like people say, what do you think about Brennan? Like, how much do you think Forest should accept if he does go? Because it is what it is. He's a fantastic player and he will go, but I don't want him to go because I think he's a fantastic player. Max mentioned about Joe Worrell as well. And like, I'm a fan of Joe Worrell.
I've got to go for a P.
He's got a price as well. So, let me ask you, Liam. If Joe Worrell left, if someone came for Joe Worrell, how much would you go for him? You know, take him off.
6 million plus. I don't think 6 million.
6 million for Joe Worrell?
No, plus. To be fair, I don't think he's that much cop. To be fair, I know he's Nottingham through and through, but there's some silly mistakes.
Do you agree with Liam? That's a bit.
There's some silly mistakes. Some silly mistakes in him.
My dad would agree with you, but he doesn't know football. I hope he's watching it all.
I know he's not a good friend. I do love him as a player, but I don't think anybody will be paying over 10 million for him.
Wow.
No, I don't believe it.
Sorry, people in the comments. Get at Liam. Get at him. I don't
know if you've listened. He did like a podcast. Robin Chipperfield or something like that.
Yeah.
And he sounds like he don't even want to be here. I know he's not going through and through, but it was like, if it's a big money move or a big Premiership move, I'm going. That's not somebody I want out of Forest. I know he loves Forest, but
no, you're right. I think if I remember what he said, I don't know because the team that he mentioned it was Burnley. Burnley wanted him, and I think it was the quote he said. He spoke to him, but the next day,
somebody else.
Burnley was talking to someone else, and then you forget about that. So I think he wants to stay at Forest. He wants to be in the Premiership with Forest. But I think if you look at it, like with any other player, they want to play in the Premiership. I think he's 25 years old now. So looking like that, he does want to play for Forest, but at the same time, he wants to play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So no,
time's running out, isn't it?
If I was Worrell, I'd say to like Johnson, look, like he's going to get in the Premier League eventually. Why not just try it with Forest? What, he's 20. He's still got 15 years in him, really. Maybe not 15, but 12.
Yeah.
But he'll be able to get an easy top 6 team if we get up. and then he smashed it like he smashed it this season. Wow. It needs the top 6 teams coming for him.
Did you see the interview after the Derby game? Because he basically Johnson turned around and said that basically it's, I'm enjoying the football at the minute, this, that, and the other, but it's not really in my hands. That's pretty much what he said.
But in a way, it is in his hands because he's not signing a new contract.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so you think, well, he said he was enjoying playing, he was enjoying his football at the moment. He didn't say he was enjoying Forest at the moment, although we all know he is, but you know what I mean?
But I've also read a statement on Twitter today where it said Forest are willing to offer him a new contract in the summer once some of the higher earners have left the club. They can't offer it him now because they'll have to honour the contract what they're giving him now. So if he's on a lot of money now, then he's going to put us in like final FFP. So what they said, they're going to wait till the summer, wait till a couple of big earners have left and offer him the new contract.
I'd give him whatever he wants, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, who do it? It's not Brennan Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
dangerous,
what,
I'm not sure it's true, but that's what I read on Twitter today. That Forest are holding out for a bigger contract in the summer.
Liam,
that's how we lost Chris Commons, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Liam,
You
listen to everything. That's my opinion, people. Don't listen to it all. Till I always said, till Forest confirm it, that's when you should listen. Listen. You can mention, I remember someone put about Jono, and it comes from David Johnson saying, listen, he's not for sale. You know, from my dad's mouth. So when you hear like today, I've seen it, I've kept my mouth shut about it, but it's all garbage.
Yeah.
That's a clue, people. It's all garbage. That's all
and I've seen a well-known person that's always doing transfers for Forest. I can't remember his name now. And about a week and a half ago, I think his name's Thomas or something like that. And they said, Jed Spence is coming for an interview tomorrow. And everybody was buzzing about it. And then before I come on here, everybody was like, well, where's this interview? Where's he coming for this medical? Has he failed his eye test? And there's just loads of comments. Everybody was just like tearing into him. It's funny. But like you say.
Right, so we mentioned Brendan Johnson. Like, so people, what do you think about Brendan Johnson? Do you want him to stay? Do you want him to go? Me personally, I think he's been a fantastic for Forest. Like I said, it's his first season, and as well, he's 20 years old. And I remember there's a period, I think it was before the Swansea game, he was quiet and people was tearing into him. People need to remember he's only 20 years old. It's his first season in the Championship. So, but now since the Swansea game, he's been fantastic. And you got to give the guy some time to.
I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready for Premier League.
It just reminds me of an Oliver Burke.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's ready for Premier League.
Yeah.
Whereas Cash was,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do people agree with Yeti? I like it is what it is. Sorry, Max. What about to say, Max?
I was just gonna say you're right. Yeah, and Mr. Dore is he's a young player, and young players have red hot peaks of form, and then it drops off, don't they? And like you're right, there's been games where it seemed like he was not making an impact, and people were calling him, and then he'd win the game with a run and cross against Swansea. Like it didn't seem like he was doing. Do you know what I mean? And at the moment, it's in that peak of red hot form.
Yeah.
The way with young players is he'll have a dip. He will have a dip in form, and when he has a dip in form, he needs to be at a club that loves him, and a manager that loves him, and a manager that understands him, and a manager that isn't going to go, oh well, it was a young signing. We punted some money on him, and we'll stick him on the bench now, and stick with these established foreign internationals that we've brought in from Austria or Switzerland or Bulgaria or something like that. And that's what it's like in the Premier League. You sink or swim really quickly, and I think it's probably fortunate that his dad was a half decent footballer for Forest, and very good footballer for some seasons for Forest. He had a struggle at the start of his Forest career, didn't he? And then he had some injuries toward the end, but he was sensational for a period of time, to be fair. But his dad knows about his dad's in the game. His dad knows about football. His dad can give him good advice about player career.
What about the advice when he put on Twitter he's not for sale?
That's what
Yeah, exactly.
This is why Liam, I keep saying to you, Liam, do not listen to Twitter. When you, all these, all these, I saw it today, and I was scrolling out. I call it the wormhole. And you scrolling up, and people, Johnson's this, Johnson that. Forrest have stepped today. Listen to me. I'm not listening to no one till you get confirmation from John Pearce or his dad, DJ. Shout out to DJ again.
Personally, I don't think he's going anywhere.
The reason I say that he's not ready is because of his decisions.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The decisions he makes in the final third. You know, if he can get that right, then
right. Did you hear what Liam said? From the whole season, he's the best assists.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Come on, you've got to see what it is. There's
still times when he tries to take that shot when there's somebody else open, but then again, most of them do that. So
everyone does it.
There was one last night in front of Trento, wasn't he, where he shot inside it, and Zinkernagel was on the near post.
Exactly, yeah. He needs to work on them decisions, and then I think he'll be ready.
And also, you know what? Is he mentally strong enough, like emotionally strong enough for the Premier League at the moment? Like, and I don't mean I'm not like disrespecting the man, but like I'm just thinking about like there was I can't remember which game, but there was a game where he got booked for diving in the penalty box, and there was a game where he missed a sitter in the penalty box. Both times you could see his like absolutely crestfallen, absolutely because he's like just absolutely devastated.
Yeah, he's been diving too much. He's been diving far too much.
But what I'm getting at is like,
but
more senior players.
Not my game. I don't agree with that.
He needed the more senior players like Zinkernagel and Graben to like have a word on the pitch, and they put their arm around him and said, "Don't worry about it. It's the game." So like, it's not just physically and skill wise, is it? He needs to be like emotionally, mentally prepared to like.
He is an emotional player.
Idiots like Shearer like ripping you apart, on Match of the Day every week and things like that for your decision making and things like that.
Yeah.
He needs to be. There's lots of ways he needs to be ready, isn't there? Jennis went to Newcastle and talked about being at a goldfish bowl, and like that's a big change.
People comments. What do you think about Max and everyone's opinion about? Do you think Brennan Johnson's ready for the Premier League? I think, like I said, he should stay. But like I said, people.
I think he's just got Oliver Burt written all over it.
He needs, exactly. He needs another season.
I think season. We've got Oliver Burt. How many games did Oliver Burt play for Forest? He didn't play much. I think he played.
Yeah, but he looked like a massive talent, and then all of a sudden he left, and he hasn't become anything.
Yeah, but Oliver Burt, like I said, he didn't play. He played 23 games. And with Brennan, like I think, like I said, he's got his dad with him, and he's got like you need to remember, right? Oliver Burke, he went on loan to Bradford on the season before, and he didn't do much. You need to remember that. But then with Brennan, you need to remember he went on loan to Lincoln, got game time, and now look at him.
14 assistants,
Exactly. And now he's come to Championship. Everyone, like, you need to remember, he's a young lad. He's playing in a tough league. And I think if you look at it, it's gone better and better and better. Yeah. And this is what everyone wants him. And so, like today, it's been a man at Twitter. Like people have been crazy. Like
I just don't understand why people are like they would offer 60 million for a player like him. If they're looking at the stats and he's the best in all 4 or 5 divisions, 60 million is nothing. You want 25 plus. Either.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Right. So we talk about Brennan, and we'll talk about quite a lot of players as well. Looking to leave Forest, and I'm going to ask you. Let me ask you, Max. Lau Taylor. I felt sorry for him, and I really have. And said, if you like the Bristol City game, he definitely 100% was fantastic for us. But what's gone wrong with that?
Nah,
I can hear you, Liam.
Yeah, my AirPods ran out. Sorry.
Max, what's about Lau Taylor? And he's going to Birmingham, but have you felt sorry for him? Yes or no? And people in the comments as well. What do you feel sorry for Lau Taylor? Because I have, but I'll get my opinion later on about it. But Max, what do you think?
No, good riddance. It's been awful. It's been dreadful. He had a good 30 seconds against Bristol City where he scored a goal from a penalty spot and a goal that hit him on the shoulder from about 1 yard out. And he's stayed in the squad on the basis of 2 minutes against Bristol City. It's dreadful.
The only thing he's good for is his penalties.
Yeah, his penalties all right and winding up opposition players. It was good. It was good for 10 minutes against Derby. He booted the ball over the Peter Taylor stand. He kicked the ball away and he wound their players up. And for once, throwing himself down on the floor works because it won free kicks. I've not seen him. How many shots has he had? How many shots has Lyle Taylor had?
Max, we brought in Davis, right, to be a tank. Forest trying. This is my opinion, and it's not. If you disagree, you can put it in comments. I personally think, right, Forest tried to use Taylor to play like to be like Davis, right? It didn't work because every time the ball goes over to Davis, Taylor will drop on the floor. Yeah.
He doesn't even try and win a header. He doesn't even jump for a header. And on corners,
he just fights people.
He's centre forward on a corner. He's messing around with the goalkeeper, trying to push the goalkeeper into the goal. He's crazy.
Under Hooton, I remember it was when it was grabbing and Taylor up front. I think sometimes, and people assumed, long the ball to Taylor and Taylor would drop on the floor. And now we've got. I personally think if we had Taylor alongside Davis, I think Taylor would be good. That's my opinion. I think it would have been a different.
Davis did more, to be honest, more against Arsenal than Taylor in his entire Forest career.
Because they're both different type of players.
But he's a centre forward. He can't score goals. He cannot score goals.
There was one point where I watched Taylor and I thought,
he's soccer.
Okay. Right.
That was the ball came into the centre of where the goal is.
Yeah, number there, though.
One person talk. Let one person talk. Max, finish.
Max, you carry on. Sorry, I interrupted you, mate. You go.
You go. No, right.
Basically, my problem with Taylor is there was one instance on one of the games where the ball went into an area that any striker that knows what he's doing should have been there to put it away. He was still fighting with the defender.
Yeah.
And he should have been there. He should have known to be there, like what Graben does. And that was it for me. I was like, nah. He's one of them players whereas if you're winning, you bring him on to beat everybody up. But that's about it.
Okay. I don't know. People in the comments, what do you think about Taylor? I liked him. Like what he did, pushed it away. You can never forget that. But I still think if you play alongside Taylor, not to Davis, I think we could have got more out of him because we got someone who can hold the ball and Taylor can do what he do, like Graben is. Like think about it, right? Since
Graben's proven himself. Graben's done it. Graben's proven himself.
What I'm trying to say, since Davis has come in, Graben scored in every game. Since Davis has come in, he scored against Arsenal, he scored against Millwall. Scored against Derby. He didn't score yesterday, did he? He didn't score yesterday, did he? So
against Arsenal,
I always thought that Davis would have made a better number 10 because of his vision. Because he's always been able to see a pass, like to Arthur when he put it into the middle, and Arthur missed the chance. But you know what I mean? He's always been able to see a pass, so I think he would have been better in that. Well, better than Carvalho anyway, but that don't really say a great deal.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the comments. Dor, you're deluded. Why am I deluded?
I thought I'd get that.
I think you'll never play for Forest again.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I feel sorry for Taylor.
I like him. I like his passion.
But he just hasn't got much.
Not working.
Yeah, it is what it is. We'll talk about one more player because we're nearly out of time. We'll talk about Cooper, and I'll start with you, Liam. Was Cooper your first choice?
No, I wanted Eddie Howe.
Did you?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I loved him at Bournemouth. The way he'd just transformed Bournemouth into this unbeatable team when it's in the Championship. To be fair, no, I didn't want Cooper at all. But since he's been in, I think everybody, even me, have just fell in love with the guy. Like I couldn't see Forest without him. Tell a lie, if he leaves now, I'd probably end up crying.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the best manager since Benny Davis the first time. There's no other manager's been anywhere close to that.
100%.
Obviously, I hadn't had the glory days from Brian Clough, so hopefully he's bringing my glory days.
100%. No. How old are you, Liam?
25.
Oh, so you're
Well, I
like
didn't start supporting Forest until I was about 7.
okay. So you're like Billy Davis. Was you? No, I
Yeah.
won't say.
My first ever game is when we lost to Yeovil. Is it the playoff?
Yeah.
That was,
that was
since
the-
then,
oh,
I've been
that
to every single home game that I could
was
possibly go to.
horrible.
Does that not
Since
put
then.
you off?
Well, I hated football at the time, but my granddad drilled it into me. Like, you got to come and watch Forest, and ever since then, I've just fell in love with Forest home and away.
Yeah, I love
What I
that.
mean, I just love it. But yes, Steve Cooper is just magnificent. The way he's like got everybody as a squad, and we're all playing for each other. Like under Uton, everybody's kept dropping the head. As soon as we went to go down, oh, that's it, we've lost. Under Uton, you know you're not going to lose. I mean, everybody's picked themselves back up. Come on, let's go again and get a goal, get 2.
100%.
What, 3 losses in his whole Forest career? I think it's 3 losses.
Yeah, 3 losses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, brilliant.
What about you? Was he Cooper your first choice?
Wilder was my first choice, but as soon as I heard about Cooper, that was it. I was like, yeah, 100% Cooper.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, people. As you know, Wilder was my first choice to be manager. Because I've been a fan of him for quite a while since I think it was Oxford, Northampton, Sheffield United. But
they're both very similar though. They're both doing exactly the same thing, same formations. Look, we're both like I think Middlesbrough one place behind us. Both doing the same thing.
100%. What about you, Max? Was he your first choice?
Yeah, I think I was Wilder as well. But I'm absolutely delighted with Steve Cooper. So I'm a bit older than you, Liam. So like, my old man earlier, but he took me to championship winning side in like 77, 78, and I used to get I used to go to sleep as a kid and then get woken up at 8 o'clock for the European ties and all that, you know. But I think you're dead right. The similarities with Billy Davis first time round, like the passion, the interaction with the fans, the style of football, the way he I think one of the thing that two of the things that the players used to say about Billy Davis and the same about Steve Cooper is preparation and just like making players believe that the best players in the world, you know, and Billy Davis he put his arm around McGugan and told him he got magic in his boots. And I reckon Steve Cooper's probably doing the same thing to Brennan and the same thing to Colback and the same thing to Yates, and it's working and they're a team and that's what
he needs to do it to Taylor.
Yeah. Well, Taylor's a lost cause. There's no chance.
Did anybody listen to his interview yesterday after the game?
Yes, I did.
He wasn't very pleased, was he? To be fair with the
right. I think I understand why he wasn't, because when he mentioned we beat Derby 2-1, and he mentioned I think when we beat Leeds 2-0, the next game we lost to Charlton, and he thought that it could happen again, but because Barnsley was so poor, he expected the performance to be high. Yes, we beat them 3-0, but I'm thinking Barnsley were poor. It was shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he wanted if you look at it, to be real, he expected to beat him 6 or 7-0.
If that was Fulham, we'd have lost yesterday.
Yeah.
100%.
And Limucci would have rested like all of our best players, and we'd have been struggling. Like that was what happened after the Leeds game, wasn't it? He rested all the best players.
But I personally think, right, I know, like I said, you mentioned Limucci rested his players, but if, I don't know, I can mention Taylor, or even because West Ham against Barnsley, because Sam didn't really have much to do, did they? So if you think about it,
he's the best. He's the best. I put on Facebook. I was in a group on Facebook, and I put he's the best goalkeeper in the championship, and I had 79 comments on it. Every single person was ripping me about him. I love Sambo. He's brilliant. Just a wind-up merchant.
Oh, he's amazing. He will do something that winds you up, and then something that you think, man, that's just amazing.
Well, there's a girl in front of me that looks after his daughter, and apparently he's signing a new 4-year contract in end of February.
So
I saw something on Facebook earlier that I thought was quite funny. Sell Brennan Johnson for 25 million, buy Derby and then burn it down.
You're so that is so. Come on, people, come on, let's give sympathy for Derby. Come on, let's give sympathy. Last but not least, I'm going to panel. These three are brand new to the show as well, and I've not asked any of them. And I'll start with you, Liam. Like from the start of the season, where was your prediction with Forest, and now where is it? So where was it?
I was saying about 15th at the start.
Yeah,
not about like, after the 7 games. After the 7 games, I thought it was gone. To be fair, I'm not going to lie to you. But before the season started, I said about 15th. Sorry, but now I'm saying second.
Confident.
We won't get first. Fulham are too good for the championship, but we should be aiming for second.
Wow. People in the comments, what do you think? Do you agree with Liam?
Playoffs is a dead cert. Sorry, playoffs is a dead cert, but we should be going for second.
Wow. Okay, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Yeta, what about you, Yeta?
I'd say playoffs.
Where would you start? Like start of the season, where did you predict Forest to start?
Oh, start of the season. Well, we had Houghton, so I'd say relegation. Well, you know, I mean, since like Cooper's come in, I'd say playoffs. No, we're going out first. We're having first. That's it. So let's have some positivity.
There's 52 points to play for, so we could do it.
Let's have it.
Last but not least, Max, like I said, where for start of the season, where would you thought Forest was now?
Well, I'm a massive optimist. So, like, I lost a £50. The year we got relegated when Van Hooijdonk went on strike, I lost a £50 bet that we'd finish higher than Liverpool. And I was dead certain we'd finish higher than Liverpool that season. So I thought we'd get in the playoffs because I'm an optimist. But after the first 6 or 7 games, we were stone cold gone. We were absolutely down. We were a shocker. So yeah, like now, yeah, we're definitely playoffs. We're 100% definitely playoffs.
Wow.
And you know, we've never won through the playoffs.
Max, why did you mention that, Max?
I'm going Liam's way. I'm going Liam's way.
That's awful, Max. That is awful.
You've ruined it.
Yeah, I mean, we've never won through the playoffs because
they ruined it.
Never having played at Wembley, but that's because we always get promoted in first or second place. Like when we got promoted in League One,
what you was going to pay us for coming on.
Wow.
Yeah.
People in comments, what do you think? Like, do you think where do you think Forest will finish in this league? As I said to Liam, I started seeing. I said 15th. Because the last 24 years, I said Forest will be in the playoffs or going up. So and I said at the start, Forest will finish 15th, and then here's what it is. We're 7th now with 1 point away. So I'm still saying 15th. If people understand what I'm saying, because I'm always wrong. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. 150 people has come and watch. But like I said, people, if you do want to come on my channel, just talk about Forest, random stuff. Come on my channel, message me, email me, the lot. Yeta, Max, and Liam, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Same to you, mate. Thanks for letting me on.
Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, people, if you enjoyed this live stream, please do hit the like button. I've had 36, but if I can get to 50 by the end of the stream, it'd be fantastic. All you do is hit the red button. Like I said, people, I'm trying to get to 6K subscribers. If I can by the end of the year, that will make my day. But yeah, people, like I said, I'll be my next stream. I might do one tomorrow if I'm not doing it, but it could be. I know there's gossip about Carvalho going to Olympiacos, so hopefully
you should be signed tomorrow. I've heard.
If there is.
Yeah,
you should listen to Twitter. You should listen to it.
I hope he does go for himself. Get his own career.
I'm going to celebrate so much.
Before we do go, right, I said I've not mentioned about these lot. Like, I start with you, Liam, and Carvalho. Do you want him? Yes, gone. Yes, you do want him gone.
I do now. Yes. When he first come, I thought, going to be a brilliant player. Then they got injured. It was Ilkeston. Got injured, didn't it? And then since then, they haven't been the same player. But now, I would easily get him off the wage bill. I think we're getting money from Olympiacos, aren't we, for giving him?
Yeah, you know it is.
I heard it was 3 million or something like that. 3 million is better than nothing.
Exactly. Max, what do you think about Carvalho before we go?
When his first few games, thought he was all right, but he's been so bad for such a huge amount of money. Either people have had our pants down, or it's a money laundering scam to launder money, like 13 million, and another. It's just unfeasible. He's been so poor. So yeah, get rid.
Last but not least, Yetta, before we go.
100% get rid. He reminds me of Kevin off the Harry Enfield show, where he like loses the ball and just goes, you know what I mean? I can't. Nah, get rid.
So that's everyone's opinion about Carvalho. Like I said, if he goes tomorrow, there'll be another show tomorrow, and we'll have a Olympiacos fan to get the opinion on him. But like I said, people, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for everyone, Liam, Max, and Yetta. Like I said, people, if you want to be a member like Yeti is, all you do, click on the button. It's below where he comments. It says member as well. If you want to be like donate to our channel, you can. But yeah, people, it's been a pleasure. Thank you everyone for
absolutely be a member, guys, because Dore buys you shirts and takes you for dinner and all that kind of stuff.
I'm in.
Be a member.
Doing it now.
No, listen, I'm not paying for no one. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, people. Like peace and love, everyone, and I'll see everyone tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah. See you later.
Reds!